How would the Sharks draft look if they drafted Michkov, they drafted Carlson, or if they drafted Will Smith? It is mock draft season today on Locked On Sharks.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area, that is Locked On Sharks. I'm JD Young, contributor at San Jose Hockey Now, and I want to thank you again for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. We're proudly a part of the Locked On Network, where we cover your team every day. And if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow along wherever you get your favorite podcast, or you can subscribe on YouTube as well. And we are doing first set of mock drafts today. So I'm going to do 3 separate drafts of 4 rounds each. So the first draft where the Sharks were going to take Michkov first, and then kind of see how it plays out, with the goal of coming away from the draft with, a scorer, someone who can be a center, and preferably a right-handed, a quality defenseman, preferably right-handed. So we're going to do the exercise for Michkov. We're going to do it for Carlson, and then we're going to do it for Smith, and kind of compare to see how each team would look if they, if the Sharks go down these roads with the objective to try to come away with some of the same pieces in here. So going to do 4 rounds because that's kind of what I feel comfortable with. And especially after the 4th round, where it's just very much a, just take guys you like type of situation. So at least with the top 4 rounds, I can at least, these are the guys that I know, at least know a little bit about for each one. So, going to be using the help of draftprospectshockey.com. They have a great draft simulator. Going to, I guess, let us start with of course, the Michkov draft. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to have the draft board up here. If not, I will do my best, as always, to try to describe what's going on for each whatever's going on here. So as best as I can. Like I said, 4 rounds. We're doing randomness factor and team factors as kind of the middle, 50 percentile or whatever. So. And then I'm going to control the first 3 picks on each of the draft, right? So we know Connor Bedard's going to go number 1. We're pretty sure Adam Fantilli is going to go number 2. And then since this is the Michkov draft, we're going to go Leo Carlsson number 3 to Columbus, right? We know Columbus wants to take a center. Leo Carlsson and Will Smith feel like the 2 best options there. So that leaves the Sharks right now on the board with Michkov, Smith, Benson, Leonard. Since this is going to be the Michkov draft, I'm going to take Michkov. So now we're going to sim to the Sharks next pick at 26 and kind of see where the dust kind of lands here. So the players kind of picked right before. So the Wild at 21 pick Gulyev. The Columbus at 22 picks Ethan Gauthier. At 23, the Rangers pick Matthew Wood. 24, the Preds pick Andrew Crissall. And then at 25, the Blues pick Nick Lardis. So the best available on the board right now. Riley Heidt, center, who we did a draft profile on, 5'10", 178 pounds. You have Lucas Dragicevic, Gavin Brindley, Tom Willander, Oliver Bonk, Tanner Molendyke, Grayson Sawchik. So plenty of we're seeing that kind of cluster of defensemen here. So since I took Michkov at number 1, with the 4th pick here, I like there's a couple center options on the board, and I feel like I can potentially wait for my 4 defensemen at 36, especially since they're going to be picking again. So I know Riley Height's 5'10", and there's And the same thing with Gavin Brindley, who's 5'9". But I'm going to go Riley Height, who I feel is fell to number 26 here, and I didn't think would be available. So we're going to go with Height at number 26. So, all right. And then we're going to sim to the next pick. So between there, now see, I kind of shot myself in the foot here because we had a defenseman run. So after the Sharks picked, starting with the Hurricanes, they got a defenseman. The Habs picked Molendyk. Willander went at 32. Dragasevich went at 33. So kind of put myself in a tough situation here with by picking a center. Really wanted to try to get a defenseman there. It just didn't work there. So so now, guys, you have Grayson Sawchink, who is a potential pick there. And then Danny Nelson, who's a 6'3" center for the USNTP. I'm going to go with him because I feel like that's more of a Mike Greer type of pick right there. So first 3 picks, we have gone very much forward needy. But I feel like I'm going to have at least, you have Michkov right there, and you do have a couple center options available for you. So now we play the very long sim to pick. So the next pick for the Sharks is going to be 94. So some of the guys potentially on the board: Matthew Soto, who we talked about with Josh, Jordan Torrig, Quentin Burns, we also talked about with Josh, Zach Schultz, Martin Miask, Scott Ratzlaff, if we want to go goalie here. And then some of the people picked right in front: Nico Matovic, who I really wanted, Denver Barkley, Tanner Adams, Adir Sunovic, Cole Brown. So I'm going to go Quentin Burns. I liked what I heard from him, even though he's left-handed. I liked what I heard from him from our good friend Josh. So we're going to go with Burns at the pick number 94. We're going to sim to our next pick at pick 100. So Ratzlaff, who is kind of the guy I was hoping would come back around, got picks at number 98. Brady Cleveland goes at number 99. So here we have Zach Schultz, another left-handed defenseman who's still on the board at 6'1" from the USNDTP. Matthew Soto, who again, I think for the value here, I'm going to go with Matthew Soto. So really wishing I had gotten a defenseman at 26, but that's kind of the name of the game right now. And then at pick 123, so a couple guys available. We have Caden Hemmel, right-handed defenseman from the WHL, 6'2", big physical defensive. You have Brad Gardner, OHL, for Ottawa 67s. Jacob Fowler. I'm going to go Fowler. I'm going to take a swing on the goalie here in the USHL. So I know I have a feeling the Sharks are going to pick one. I'm going to go Fowler. All right. So for the Sharks with this draft right here, this would put them very well into, kind of, again, with going Michkov first, that's your guy. Very, very forward heavy, is a little more forward heavy than I would like. Again, I know you don't draft for need. You try to draft the best player available. Looking back, should have grabbed a defenseman at 26 when you had kind of the pick of the litter, and then seen if one of the other grab a forward again. So number 4, you ended up with Matvei Michkov, and then 26, Riley Height, Danny Nelson at 36, Quentin Burns, defenseman at 94, Matthew Soto, who I thought the value was just too good there at 100, and then grabbed Jacob Fowler in the USHL as another goalie prospect, as I think the Sharks are going to continue to draft. I think the Sharks are going to draft a goalie in this one. So overall, feeling pretty solid about it, but I would have loved to grab. I would have loved, if looking back now, I would have grabbed a defenseman at 26, especially when you had the pit, you had all those guys potentially available. So before we continue and do the Leo Carlsson mock draft and kind of see how everything shakes out there, do need to take a quick break, talk to you guys about our friends over at FanDuel. And the NBA Finals are here. Now's the time to make a fast break to FanDuel during the finals, because right now new customers can get a no sweat first bet up to $2,500. That's $2,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. They have great promotions every day. I like the little ones where it's like, can Joker get 56, a combination between points, assists, and rebounds, and they set like an over under of like 56 or something like that. And those ones are fun because you get to root for a player and root for guys to do really fun things. So the app is safe and secure, super easy to use. You can get paid instantly, which is the best part, I think, right? No having to wait for your winnings. You want to see that little bank account fill up with those winnings. So there's no better place to bet all the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get a no sweat first bet up to $2,500. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, so feel pretty good about the Michkov one. Again, I feel like I wished I had gotten a defenseman at pick 26, but it is what it is. So let's get ready to do the next one, and that is where the Sharks will be picking Leo Carlsson. And again, try to see how this would shake out. Again, if we're trying to get a center, a defenseman, and someone who can score, hopefully for you. Again, kind of see how this shakes out with that. So same factors. And again, Bedard number 1, Fantilli number 2. And then we'll say for this one, since we're going Carlson, we'll say Columbus picks Will Smith at number 3, because we know they wanted a defenseman. It's probably going to be Leo Carlsson or Will Smith. So that's where we're going to go with. So we'll go with Will Smith. That opens up Leo Carlsson to the Sharks. And then let us sim to our next pick and kind of see how things fall here. So all right, I just want to see where. So Michkov goes number 5. I just was kind of curious to see where he went. So again, the kind of Matthew Wood goes to at 21. Andrew Cristall goes to 23. Ethan Gauthier goes at number 23 to the Rangers. 24, Gavin Brindley to the Preds. And then Gabe Perreault goes to the Blues. So best available guys right now: Samuel Honzik, a left winger for the Vancouver Giants in the WHL. He's big. He's a center, or he can play center as well. Good shot. He's a potential right here again. So we picked our center. We have defense and goal scorer. Like, I want to try to take a swing on somebody who could potentially be a goal scorer. So I'm kind of in the same spot as I was before, but I'm going to play the board here. And I think the value of Honzik is too good at right there. The Sharks need people who can score. So we're going to go Honzik and pray that one of the defensemen is available there. And we do have at least one. So we have right before. So we have Bradley Nadeau, Cohen Ziemer, Carson Rickoff. Those all went before. On the board right now, Hunter Bruitsky, our right-hand defenseman from the OHL. Jaden Perron, who would probably that's another good option right there. And then Theo Lindstein, a left-hand defenseman from SHL. Maxim Strabek, right-hand defenseman from the USHL. Quentin Musty. So a couple guys here. I'm going to take the right-handed defenseman, Hunter Brunswick. So 6 foot, 180 pounds. We're going to go with the puck-moving defenseman. So, and then we're going to play the long sim. So, all right. Let's recap where we're at. So we have Leo Carlsson Samuel Honzik, Hunter Browinski right now. So we kind of whatever we want to pick right now. So we kind of hit those picks. I'm going to go Nico Majatovic, who I loved after hearing from our friend Josh. So I'm going to pick him at 94 and feel very happy about that pick right there. Very, very happy. So, and then we're going to the small sim to our next at pick 100. So Thomas Suknik went at number 98. Jacob Stansel at number 99, a left winger. So kind of have, again, we've got some, I'll see. So kind of the best goalie available. Let's pull up the goalies right now if we wanted to look. Jacob Fowler, Thomas Mielek. Those guys are potentially available right now. All positions, if we wanted another defenseman. So Drew Fortescue out of that US NDTP, 6 foot, 276 pounds, smart, safe, effective defensive first defender. So if you like that, you can go Tanner Adams, Quentin Burns, who we talked again. I'm going to go. So we've already picked. We have one defenseman so far, 3 forwards. I'm going to pick another defenseman. So I'm going to go Burns because I actually, you know what? We'll go Drew Fortescue. So just to kind of change it up this time. So, all right, all available again. And then sim to the Sharks 123. So here, couple right wingers, another center on the board, defenseman. See if any of the goalies are available, what the best goalies are available. It'd be Thomas Mielek. So yeah, I mean, you're kind of, now you're starting to kind of just pick guys. So we'll go. So we've already picked. Yeah. I'm going to go another USNDTP because I know college, the whole thing. So I'm going to just go with that. So we're going to pick Alex Wiermiar, center right winger for who's in the USNDTP program. So two-way forward type of pick. Very Mike Fields type of pick there. So, all right. So the Sharks end up with that one. Leo Carlsson. You have your 1C of the future. And then take a couple guys who could be potential scorers. You have Samuel Honzik. You have Nico Majatovic. Hunter Brewski was your right-hand defenseman. You took a 36. Took another defenseman at Drew Fortescue, a left-hand defenseman number 100. And then Alex Wiermiar, a two-way kind of center at 123 there. So, again, I keep doing it, but I feel like I should just. I think the next one we are definitely picking a center. We're going to definitely pick a defenseman at most likely pick a defenseman at 26 and kind of just see how that goes there. So I'm still not happy with the defense when I'm going through these mock drafts here. So especially if the Sharks want to add one of those good defensemen, I feel like they're going to have to pull the trigger. The more I do this, the more it feels like they have to pull the trigger there at 26 to get one of those. So we're going to do the Will Smith draft here in just a moment. But before do that, do want to thank you guys for making Locked On Sharks your first listen every day. Every day or tomorrow on the show, we do have a very special guest, Gregory Ballack, who's going to be coming on talking about all things goalies. So he's going to kind of give us the rundown on some of these goalies in the draft, which ones he likes, which ones he's a little kind of weary on some of the overagers in this draft. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. All right. So we're going to get into the last mock draft here. This time is going to be the Will Smith mock draft. So again, this one is, we've seen the other ones, how they kind of laid out with here. I'm probably going to pick a defenseman at 26 just because I want to walk away with one of those defensemen, and I feel I keep trying to play the board, and it keeps coming back to bite me. So not this time. So going to again go through the process, show you guys it's all the same. All right, so we're gonna go Connor Bedard, of course, Fantilli number 2, and then we'll go Carlson at number 4 or at number 3, sorry, and then the Sharks will pick Will Smith here. So I'm going to sim to my next pick. So Michkov went number 5, kind of the same what we've seen. So starting from 21, Cristal went to the Wild. Then we have Nadeau went to Columbus. Riley Height went to the Rangers. Matthew Wood went 24. Oliver Bonk went 25. And I'm presented with a very interesting decision. So, picked Will Smith. Gabe Perreault is sitting there at number 18. The dude scores 1 million points. Oof. The Sharks need a goal scorer. Scores 1 million points. He's already played with Will Smith. They're going to college together. Why not just keep the band together? We're going to go Gabriel. I knew I was going to say we're going to pick a defenseman, but again, you have to play the board here. You can't, there has to be a defenseman available that I like. So I think the value of having Gabe Perreault at 26 is too good of a yeah. So we're going with that. All right. And no swung and missed on the defense. We have guys like Maxim Starbuck, Cameron Allen, if you wanted to go defense, maybe Carson Bjornsson, goalie here, maybe Caden Price. So especially since the Sharks don't pick, I think I'm going to reach what might be considered. I'm going to pick Bo Akey. I'm going to kind of swing for that upside with Akey. I like Akey a lot. I know his numbers dipped, but I'm going to take the swing for Bo Akey here. This would be a spot. If this broke out this way, if I was the Sharks, I would try to trade back. We're not going to do trades in this situation, but I'm going to go Bo Akey. I think there's some offense there that was stifled because of Brent Clark. And I think next year when he's given the reins, we're going to see an offense explosion from Bo Akey on what's supposed to be a very good team. So might call to reach, whatever. All right. So potential guys available right now. So again, let's kind of recap the team as we go to pick number 94. Will Smith, Gabe Perreault, Bo Akey. I'm feeling really good about that. I know Akey's probably a reach, but I'm feeling really good about the upside here. So some eventual guys: Felix Nelson, Drew Fortescue, Tanner Luke, Gavin McCarthy, Tanner Adams, Nico Mijatovic, Quentin Burns. I love Quentin. I'm going to go with Mijatovic. I know I picked him already in one, but more scoring options for me right here. So that's me, my pick at number 94. Let's go to 100. All right, so we have kind of a lot of the same guys. We have Quentin Burns, Scott Ratzlaff. I think I'm going to go Scott Ratzlaff here again. I feel very strongly the Sharks are going to walk away with a goalie in the top, within one of their by the end of the 4th round, they're going to walk away with another goalie prospect. And Ratzlaff is 6. I know he's a little bit shorter, 6'1", 175. But again, the calm, he's poised, as you'll learn about more tomorrow. So, and then for the final pick, so a couple guys. So Tanner Adams from Tri-City Storm, the USHL, 5'11" forward. You have Camden Hamill, right-handed defenseman from the WHL. I know we've kind of I've been a little bit forward heavy, so I think I'm going to lean defense here. I'm going to go Kalen Parker, who I really liked watching with the Victoria Royals. Again, La Rock's already there. I'm going to go Parker there. So that is my pick right there. So the Will Smith draft. So we have Will Smith, Gabe Perreault, Bo Akey, Nico Majatovic, Scott Ratzlaff, and Kalen Parker to round that one out. So I think the big thing that we kind of saw from this is in all these, we had a defensive run at the end of the first round. So I think the Sharks would be wise to be one of the teams that kicks off the defensive run. Again, we never know what's going to happen on draft day, but if you want one of those kind of top, or one of those guys between the first and second round, I think it's better to be the team that starts it off than try to wait and see what's available left over. Unless there's a potential guy that falls to you, right? And in each of the drafts, right, we did see some guys who kind of fell. In the Michkov draft, right? Riley Height was the one who fell. In the Will Smith draft, Gabe Perreault was the one that fell. In the Carlson draft, Samuel Honzik was the one who fell. So that's going to be the decisions, right? Do you grab on the guy who's falling and hope you can try to find another another guy on defense later on, or do you just grab the one of the best defenseman prospects available and then just kind of see how things shake out there? So I went with grab the guy and see how things shook out. Didn't really, and I ended up reaching for Bo Akey in the Will Smith one, but I still feel like there's you'd be pretty happy or at least I'm pretty happy for the most part with walking away with some of with at least how the draft shook out. So I thought it was fun. I don't know what you guys think, but mock drafts were fun to me. Anyway, so that's going to be it for me today. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow with Gregory Ballack to dig into some of these goalies and what he kind of thinks of them and going forward and going to this draft. And, there's no potential superstar, like this isn't a Volstead, type of draft, but, there's some guys that he feels like are going to be NHL starters and good NHL starters in this draft. So make sure you guys are following along for that. You can follow the show on wherever you get podcasts, watch on YouTube as well. You can also follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. You can follow me on Twitter at MyFryhole. Until tomorrow, bye, friends.